guys ready for this season's FPL? I am super excited. I am collaborating with the one and only Supriya Singh.
Me, that's me. And I'm collaborating with Shweta, her. And with barely any time left before the start of the new EPL season, we thought we'd quickly give you a recap of all things new in Fantasy Premier League season 25-26. So welcome along.
Alright, first things first, let's jump right into it. Number 1, defensive contributions will now count. So before this, defenders only got 1 point for defending, and that too only if they maintained a clean sheet. Now, any defender with a combined total of 10 clearances, blocks, interceptions and tackles, also known as CBIT, in a match will score 2 FPL points. Similarly, defensive contributions by midfielders and forwards will also start counting. So that means that they will have to make 12 such contributions to get 2 points. But the good news is, for them, defensive actions include things like ball recoveries and starting a counter-attack. Now the caveat to this, these points are capped at a maximum of 2 points per match. So even if a player has 40 defensive contributions, they will only get 2 points.
The second update, you now get 2 sets of chips, which means a total of 8 chips. However, each set is meant for each half of the year, which means you cannot carry forward the first set of chips into the second half. So essentially, that means that the deadline for using up all of the chips from the first set will be before game week 19. Specifically, 6:30 PM GMT, that's UK time, so you can convert that to whatever time zone you're located in. And here's a tricky one you'll want to remember for the role. The free hit chip allows you to do a complete overhaul of your team, right? But then in the following week, your team has to go back to what it was originally, which means that if you were to use the free hit chip in game week 19, you cannot use it again in game week 20. There is one chip that's gone missing, which is the manager's chip. It was introduced just last year and it's been scrapped this year. Honestly, it was one of my favorites because while I was using it, I won all of my matches. So I'm gonna miss it a lot. Are you? Let us know in the comments.
Next, you can now qualify for 2 new elite global leagues. So one for managers who finished in the top 1% in the world rankings for last season, and the second one is for managers who finished in the top 10% last season. So this means you'll be competing against different managers of similar levels, and there are a lot of prizes.
Number 4, the assist rules have changed, and for the better. What was considered an assist till now? The last player from the goal scoring team touches the ball before the goal scorer was considered to have given the goal scorer an assist and would therefore get points for that. Fairly simple. Except we all know that's not how football works. And Fantasy Premier League is finally taking that complication into consideration. In this year's season, a player will be deemed to have given an assist to a goal scorer if both these conditions are met. 1, the goal scorer receives the ball within the penalty box, and 2, 1 defensive touch is allowed between the passer and the goal scorer, which means that, let's say Van Dijk tries to pass the ball into the penalty box, however, a defender goes ahead and intercepts, deflects it. The deflection then goes to Salah and Salah scores the goal. In the past, Van Dijk would not have gotten assist points. Now, Van Dijk will get the assist points. Congratulations to everyone who has Van Dijk in their team then. I know what you're wondering. What if the goal scorer receives the ball outside the penalty box? Well, then in that case, the old rule applies, which means that the person passing the ball should have intended the goal scorer as the target of that pass, and then the passer will get the assist. But you know, these are only some of the broader changes that have been introduced as to what may constitute an assist, because a lot of nuances have also been introduced, and don't worry, you don't have to know about all of them because you'll catch on as the season goes on. But the point is, the more the nuances, the more the points that you'll earn. I'll give you one example to just give you some context. There's the handball rule. Let's take the example of a game between, let's say, United versus Arsenal. Bruno Fernandes has the ball and he tries to pass it to Højlund, but an Arsenal defender gets in the way, tries to intercept, but accidentally touches the ball. Now, that's going to result in a free kick or a penalty for Manchester United. Let's say United converts that into a goal. In the past, that goal would not have constituted an assist for Bruno Fernandes because that was not a forced handball. From this year onwards, that forced element has been removed, which means that from this year onwards, anyone in Bruno Fernandes' position would get an assist. Which is why I said, the more the nuances, the more the points you earn.
You get extra transfers to make up for players who may leave to the AFCON from December 21st all the way up to January 18. That means game week 17 all the way up to 22, which also means no one will have Salah. Nobody will have Salah, but some players may leave by game week 16, so it's all good. FPL will give you a total of 5 free transfers in game week 16. This means that if you end game week 15 with no free transfers left, game week 16 your balance will show as 5 free transfers. But if you have 2 free transfers carrying over into game week 16, then your balance would be topped up by only 3 transfers. So you would only be seeing 5 transfers, not 7. So don't get it mixed up and plan your transfers accordingly.
Number 6 might seem purely ornamental, but it is very important because it's the same as naming your team. These are things that identify your team. That's right. This time, FPL has teamed up with Adobe to let everyone design their own team badges. And don't worry about not being creative enough because you will have access to an AI tool to do this. And here's the mind-blowing thing. There are no limits to the number of times you can use that AI tool while generating the badge. Wow. Okay, but having said that, please remember that every badge is actually going to be checked for compliance with guidelines. So in case you're thinking of something extremely vindictive, like say a dagger running through your toughest FPL opponent, and I am not exaggerating at all, there are plenty of you who are capable of thinking like that, don't do it. I think it's safe to say it'll get flagged, it won't get cleared, you'll be asked to generate a different one. In fact, if your team badge is extremely inappropriate, then FPL can actually take down your account for the rest of the year. So, word to the wise, mind your manners.
Last but not least, updates to the bonus point system. So BPS plays a key role in fantasy, helping decide which players earn bonus points in each match. So it uses data from Opta to track player actions and calculate performance scores. In this season, changes have been made to how points are awarded for goalkeeper saves, goal line clearances, penalty goals, and successful tackles, giving fantasy managers a chance basically to earn even more points. So great. Now the overview of this is BPS helps decide which players earn bonus points in each fantasy match. It uses Opta stats to score player performance based on in-game actions. Top 3 BPS players in a match get bonus points. So in first place you get 3 points, second place you get 2 points, and in third place you get 1 point.
Hashtag 2 girls and a game. Signing off.